Welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. Today we're building a huge indoor coaster using one of the new types that has a bunch of the new elements like the drop track, the turntable, the reverse, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. And the inspiration for this is kind of like, I was sort of vibing off almost Expedition Everest, but obviously it's kind of nothing like that because this is like in a big warehouse building. It's kind of the idea. It's going to be in a warehouse, but it has this sort of the reverse track element, has a few launches here and there. It's kind of the idea. We don't have a chain lift on this ride, so it starts off at the beginning down the bottom there, goes to that turntable, and then this section is a launch that I can't remember what the speed was, but around maybe 100 kilometers an hour, something like that. And then we do a few different sections on this ride, and it's kind of themed around a cow plant from The Sims 4, which we'll get more into that later, don't worry. Now, not all of this video is a time lapse. I've done a bit of editing to make this a little bit more interesting to watch. So we do have a time lapse here at the beginning that is going over the main coaster layout. And then there's a few revisions where I need to change things because it wasn't either exciting enough or just it was a bit rough, or that kind of stuff. So at the beginning here, basically I'm just making stuff up as I go. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I should note, if you are well versed on how roller coasters work, I got no idea what I'm doing, okay? I just kind of know what looks cool and maybe is semi-realistic, and I go with that, and that's kind of where I end up. And then I'm just using the live data that you get from the coaster, so we can see the speed is going around. I check the excitement, the fear, the nausea, and we can have a closer look at that when we jump into the game a little bit later in this video. So if you don't know that much about how it works in Planet Coaster 2, I can sort of give you a little bit of an overview on that. But basically, so we've got our first section here where the coaster launches up and around, nice big bank, and then it does a big helix there, little bit of airtime, and then it goes into this reverse track, or this switch track section, which then puts our coaster in reverse, which I thought would be fun. And that, I guess this specific element is giving Expedition Everest to me. I mean, that's kind of like that coaster's trick, right? It has the reverse section. And in this case, I actually do a very gentle launch in reverse. I think it launches around 50 kilometers an hour, something like that is I think what I set it as, because it just needed a little bit more speed so we could go fast. Now originally, we do have quite a bank here, and I think it drops down a bit, and there's even maybe a bit of airtime. But I realized later on, and we will see this as we go through the coaster, the nausea rating that people get going reverse, surprise, surprise, is much higher. So hang on, here's the nausea. So you can see the nausea at that little airtime wheel is 6 at the moment. I think at this point I was like, well, let's just kind of maybe reduce that just a smidge. Try and make it gentle, but the thing is, you kind of need a little bit of nausea, but not like 6. I think 5 and below, even 5's getting a bit much there. So there's a lot of little fine tuning elements that you got to sort of work on here. Now this next section, I believe, is where we go into the drop track. So yeah, these are all new in Planet Coaster 2. We didn't have this in the first game. And only a few coasters have these elements. I kind of wish it was on more of them. Because this coaster, I'm not sure if this can go upside down. I don't think it can. Although, to be fair, I didn't actually try manually doing it. There's another coaster, because this is the multiverse coaster. I think there's, I don't know if it's also called the multiverse. Oh no, it's the Outer Max. Or maybe it is the multiverse, but it's got a slightly different name. There's another one that can invert, so I don't know if this one could, but anyway, I kind of wish there was a few more coasters that had these elements, but I guess that the fact that these are in the game means they will probably add more in the future that has more of that kind of stuff. I also was really hoping that they had like an elevator element where the coaster could, pull into an elevator, raise up slowly or like lower down slowly, because I really wanted to recreate, that kind of part in some coasters that I've been on where they have an elevator section. Like, yeah, we have the drop track. We have the drop track, but we don't have a track that just raises up. There is the tilting sections. There's a few different things, but I kind of wanted an elevator. Anyway, so then this is another section here. So yeah, we go into the drop track, and then that actually turns the coaster back around again. So we were going reverse. We reverse into the drop track, we drop down, and then we come into this big overbanked launch, and then a few helixes before the end of the coaster. And then that's kind of the initial layout done. But I do feel like the quickest part of this build is the initial layout. Then the rest of it is, well, tweaking. There's a bit of tweaking layout, which we'll see in just a moment. We'll also do a full point of view ride of this first iteration in just a moment so you can get a better understanding. Because I know, when you're going through a time lapse and you're just seeing this coaster whiz around really quick, it's kind of hard to see what's happening. The camera's going fast, but we'll jump into a little point of view ride for the coaster so you can kind of get a better understanding of where we are. So here it is. This at the beginning, this is kind of supposed to be almost like a dark ride element where you go through, the story is set up. We're going to have scene pieces on the left and on the right. So you kind of get a feel of what's happening here. You're like, oh, wow, this is all great. Things are going well, nice and gentle. And then this takes us in. So imagine in front of us here, we're going to have doors. The doors are closed. 3, 2, 1, doors open. We come into this room. It's fully dark. And then in front of us, slowly something is revealed to us and we're like, and then we swing to the left and then we launch straight down here. And so this is where our coaster starts up. And I think this goes up to 100 maybe around this. Now we haven't done any smoothing and no alterations to the track at this point. This is just the first, point of view ride just to see what was actually happening. It actually kind of feels maybe a little slow through some of these points. Maybe some of the banks are a little too harsh. So obviously we'll get into those. And yeah, so this is the switch track. So in this one, we just go forward, stop, and then it just goes reverse. Then we launch and go up a little bit. There you go. So you get a little bit of that sort of like, not, I was gonna say air time, but I don't think that would be really air time because you're not going that fast. And then, yeah, so we do a reverse section, nothing too much going on there. And at this point, we come into the drop track and you can see the other coaster down over there, or the other train starting to go on the track as well. And then this one doesn't have a launch, but it sort of rolls down here, does a bank, and then into a helix. And then we do actually have another launch section that'll take us onto the larger overbank and sort of launch us out this way. There's also a block section just before this. So if we need a coaster to wait, we can. And oof. A little slow there. So yeah, there's a lot of tweaking. This is pretty close to the final layout, but there is definitely more that happens. And obviously the entire building is added to this as well in the future because we got to work on that. So yeah, that's kind of the layout we started with there. And we can kind of see how all this works. Now, what's interesting and kind of annoying, and I don't know if this is like by design or not, but the drop track, the switch track, the turntable are incredibly unfun to people sitting on the coaster. It like literally, I feel like it tanks the excitement rating of the coaster. And I think we'll have a look at that in a little bit. But because the coaster is not really moving, or the train is not really moving at that point, it sort of comes to a complete stop. I think that the ratings of the coaster start dropping because this whole coaster, I think, was rated 5 in excitement. Again, we'll have a look at all that in a second. And it just seems like it should be a lot higher. Because I'm a great coaster builder. No, because, I don't know, I feel like having a drop track, the reverse section, all that kind of stuff, I feel like would make it more fun than it seems. And this is not me complaining about my poor coaster building skills, but we'll have a look at the live data and you'll kind of see what I mean. Because I feel like those elements, yeah, you're not moving, but I feel like it's the anticipation of that event, of you dropping or of you going in reverse. That anticipation is exciting as well. But anyway, so we're going to do a few little adjustments here to try and, make it a little bit more interesting, up the excitement, because, we're putting a lot of time into this coaster. We want people to actually want to ride it. Because if it's like 5 excitement or below, it kind of seems like maybe we need to do a little bit more to it. So we just done this little section here, smoothed it out, just added an extra helix down to the right there. And that should hopefully help out a little bit. It's adding on. Now, also, if you're wondering, this park I'm building in, I did mention it in my previous Planet Coaster video, but this is actually a franchise mode park. So me and my friend Dr. Gluon, we've been building in this park together over on his Twitch channel. He also streams it over on YouTube. I'll link all that down below. You can watch all of the VODs back. We've spent like 45 hours, both combined in this park, between both of us. There's like 45 hours of time going to this park, and this is one of the bigger rides we've done, but there's a whole lot more. So if you want a lot more Planet Coaster and stuff that we're doing, this is our franchise mode park. But yeah, this is a coaster that we've been working on for a while, so I kind of wanted to get it finished off today. Oh, here's our rating, 5.67. The fear and the nausea are good, they're green. Our excitement, not as high as it should be. So that's where we're gonna now start doing more adjustments to try and fine tune that excitement. Try and get a little bit higher. There's a few things we can do, and it's actually kind of interesting to see what works and what doesn't. So in this case, I'm extending, this is after our large overbank turn near the end of the ride. I've added a second helix, and then I believe I increased the speed as well of that section, which is in an attempt to make it more exciting, to give a little bit more enjoyment to it. And then I just have to realign the end here where we had some trim brakes and then a block section because it just didn't quite line up. And sometimes getting these last little bits to join is a little tricky, but you know, you can kind of get there, and then usually smoothing out works pretty well. I find the smoothing in this game is pretty good. So now we can see that's the reverse section, which actually does look a little bit faster than it was the first time. And I'm not sure, I did play around. So we got this drop section here. It has two modes. There's one mode where it drops directly down, and there's one mode where it kind of like does a half drop and then continues to drop. But I didn't find any difference in excitement between those. I preferred the straight drop down without the sort of bouncing effect. Now this is, we've got a few changes here with this coaster coming around, and it's gonna go straight into this overbank launch, which I think at this point I have maybe increased the speed, but I guess we'll see. And it goes up and then down and then through these two helixes, but you can kind of see, you might be able to see the problem. That is so fast. It is like, oh my God, that little airtime hill, that is way too fast. Yeah, you might be able to see the issue with that. So there you go, 5.69. We didn't really change it, but I believe, I'm not sure what the rating was before, but the fear is not, that didn't really help us out. So we do still need to do a little bit of adjusting here. Now this section here, after the drop track, I did add a few launch wheels because it was going a little slow through that section. And then down here, after the large overbank, I'm actually smoothing out these banks and hoping that would help, but you can see, no, oh my gosh. This is real-time speed, by the way. This is not sped up. That is way too fast. Anyway, so yeah, this is the process of the coaster build. I have cut out a lot, obviously, and we're doing time lapses through certain parts, but I think it's kind of interesting. So you can let me know if this is an interesting way to watch this, because I could have time lapsed the whole thing and then just jumped past the fine tuning section, but I think it's kind of interesting. So you can see our excitement's actually dropped down a bit, and I think it's because our fear and nausea have gone up a little section here. So right now we're looking at the excitement rating. So excitement is 7.5 there, and then look at this, the excitement kind of drops here, even though you're like, oh, it should be kind of fun. Yeah, at the bottom there, it got down to 5, and I think that's potentially because, oh gosh, yeah, here we go, the fear, look at the fear, 10.4. Fear needs to be like at a 5. That's like the sweet spot. So basically what's happening there is it's going way too fast. Have a look at the speed there. We're getting 100 kilometers an hour through those turns. They're too tight. Like, you can go that fast, but if we want to do that, we need to make the turns way bigger. Now I added trim brakes, so we slowed down to 70, and you can see that has helped, but we're still sort of in the borderline area. So you can have a look here. The nausea is really what's hurting us. We've got a 7.4 nausea, 6.93 in some of those areas. It is way too fast. So we need to basically just rework this area. Those banks are too small. So I'm gonna basically just expand them, make them a lot bigger so that we can handle that speed through this area. So that's basically what you need to do. When you're kind of confused why, like, because if we just looked at the excitement there was pretty good. Like, it was kind of green, between 7-ish and 8, 9, but the fear and the nausea were terrible. So that was what was really harming that. So you got to make sure you kind of look through each of them. So our excitement is going up, 5.76 now. So we're getting there, and I have to do the same on this corner, adjust this one a little bit, because that is also too tight and it's just not quite right. We're gonna go ahead and do another little test through the area. This is our excitement rating coming through here, looking a little bit better now. Yes, that's good. That's much better than what it was. And you can see also the speed just kind of looks better there. The fear is looking pretty good. We still have a pretty high fear on that drop of 7.1. And then the nausea, yeah, so the nausea is still too high. So I think that required a little bit more fine tuning there. Now at the start of the ride, this is kind of funny. Because like I said, this is our franchise mode park. We're trying to do well. Like, we're trying to make money. We want people to ride. This is not a sandbox. So unfortunately, this whole beginning section, we had to speed up. We really liked the idea of it being like the sort of dark ride element, but it was just killing the excitement. So we actually added a launch at the beginning. And so it goes very fast at the beginning, which you'll see in a little bit. Now you can see right there, we had a 6.5 G turn. If you don't know what that means you're going around this corner and your body feels like it weighs 6.5 times as much as normal, which is not good if you don't want to feel sick or pass out. so basically that means I either have to slow down the coaster there, or in this case, make the turn much bigger. So that's what we're doing. And actually, I think I did both. I think I slowed it down and made it wider, and that will help a lot and reduce the G-force through that corner. And that should help us with our rating. So we still have those trim brakes. You can see it coming around. That looks a lot nicer. It's still pretty dang fast, but I think we're getting much, much closer to the final product at this point. We're nearly at the end of the layout of this coaster, which is good. So that, let's have a look. Ooh, 5.89, we're getting there. I believe at the very end of this, all said and done, we end up around 6 point something. So we're not getting to like 8 or 9. Like I said, I think one of the big problems, oh yeah, this is our little dark ride element. We had to add a bank there just because it was too nauseous because we had to go faster. Yeah, see, here we go. See this, we go into the switch track. It's dark red. Look how red and unexciting that whole section is. And because that is such a high portion of the coaster time, the amount of time it's sitting and doing nothing is so high, the excitement is being pulled down in each of those elements, which is quite frustrating. But anyway, we are done with the layout. The layout is done. It's time to start building a huge gray box, people. Literally, I'm not joking. We're putting this in a warehouse, but we're going, because this park that we're building, this franchise mode park, is, it's a little wacky. We're not going like full on unrealistic overall, but we are definitely having a lot of creative liberties when it comes to the builds and stuff we're putting in here. A lot of them are maybe a little wacky, but at the same time, we both like the idea of having this be like a huge sound stage that a roller coaster was built in. Because, that's really how they are. They're just built in a huge building, and then you theme, the front of it or the guest-facing areas of the building, and of course you theme the inside. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're starting off just by building a huge gray box around it out of the corrugated metal walling, and then we just copy it up as high as it needs to go, and then we're gonna go from there. Now, it's starting off as a weird shape, but then we later realized it probably should just be a rectangle, because if it's gonna be like a big soundstage, I don't know why I tried to like cut it into the exact shape of the coaster. That kind of seemed a little unnecessary. So instead, I did this. Now, actually, keep an eye on our money. Keep an eye on our money. This ended up being so expensive, this building, which I kind of like because it makes sense. There's nothing weirder than in some games where you build like this huge thing and it costs you like $5. I think this building, at least when we end up this initial time lapse, costs around like $40,000 or something, which is quite surprising, honestly. It's just quite surprising that it ended up costing so much. And I think the coaster itself was also around 50,000, like that actual whole track. So yeah, as you can see, when we do this, start putting this roof on, that's when it starts really adding up. But it's, oh my gosh. Now, unfortunately as well, because this coaster is in such a big warehouse and we're adding so much detail to the inside, like so many different pieces and elements, it's over the limit to be able to share it as a blueprint, which kind of sucks because we really wanted to share this to the workshop, but they have a 4,000 piece limit. And we're not completely done. Like, we're gonna finish the coaster in today's video. So by the time this video is done, obviously, you'll see the finished product. But at this point that I'm commentating now, we're already over 4,000, like quite a lot. So it's kind of a shame because I don't think we can share it. But once we're done with this theme park, we will share the whole park. And I believe because it is franchise mode, I think you can view it. But it's kind of weird. They have this mode. If you go into franchise mode, you can like click on other people's parks and click view, which is cool. So you can load up someone else's park, go ahead and view it. But for some reason in viewing mode, you can't ride any rides. So I don't really understand what the point is. Like, shouldn't you be able to view, like if you're in viewing mode, you should be able to ride the rides, right? Isn't that kind of the whole point? Like, I mean, I guess it's still cool to see the park, but anyway, I'm sure they'll add that stuff. I feel like there's a lot of stuff Planet Coaster 2 needs to work on an ad, and I think that'll probably be one of them that will come. Because I have this view mode that you can't fully view a park, but anyway. But yeah, so this is that little section there on the left that we're doing now. That's our little, like, I guess, quote unquote dark ride section. Then it just goes into the warehouse. So we're gonna do now, this is our test ride of the coaster inside the closed up building. There is a gap on the floor there, don't worry. What we did find out, unfortunately, is so you can make dark rides in this game, like fully dark. This building is fully enclosed except for that little gap there on the floor. But watch this, as we go over here, it gets darker. And then it gets lighter and darker and lighter. So what we found out is this building is too big for the game to see like how dark it gets. It's too big for the game to realize that it's like fully indoors. When you look, the lighting is so goofy. When you look across the room, which is such a shame. So I guess, I don't know, if there's a trick, let me know. Because I love the idea of building big warehouses for coasters, but we get this goofy lighting effect where when you get over to the other side of the building, it gets really light. But you see there, like that corner over there, it's like daylight now. So I don't know if there's a way to sort of work around that and fix it. I'm not sure, please let me know if you know. However, what we are doing, and you'll see it happening a little bit in this video soon, is because we're decorating the entire inside of this building. Like this whole building is themed, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's gonna make all the spaces smaller, so it should still have that dark ride feel to it, which is good. But if we were to leave the warehouse open like this with no decoration, it doesn't look great because of the way the lighting is working for some reason. And of course, there's gonna be holes in these walls. This is just our test ride with all the adjustments, and that's the new layout, so you can kind of see that there, which I think is starting to look a heck of a lot better. So that is our final layout of the coaster. That's like the building shape, and now we got to add in a few more elements, you know, the queues, and then of course theme the entire inside of the coaster, which we'll get to in just a little bit here. So unfortunately, at this point, I now realize that I probably should put the exit and the queue on opposite sides of the station. So I just want to apologize for that now. I don't know why. I just kind of thought that the exit would make sense on the right-hand side, but they all exit at the front. So it's kind of on the opposite side of the station. Someone pointed that out in the comments of, I don't know if it was a previous Planet Coaster video I did. But yeah, so this was built before that that comment. So it's kind of hard to change now. Obviously at this point in the video, it looks like I could easily change it, but a lot has changed on this coaster since this time lapse. I don't have all the footage here in this video because a lot of that happened over on the Dr. Gluon stream. So if you want to see like more like, it's a lot of real-time stuff, like hours and hours of content of us doing this. But today we're gonna jump forward to when we've completely themed the entrance. So we've done all of the front of the building. It's looking really good. And I've started preparing half of the inside of the coaster. So there's a lot of stuff I've done inside. There's still a lot to do as well. So you'll still see what's going on. Oh, and yeah, here's a little demonstration of the lighting where it's like a little goofy, like you go further back, it goes light, closer up, dark. Yeah, that's the issue with a huge building. So kind of interesting. Anyway, let's jump into the game now. All right, I'm aware that this is a huge jump forward. So like, again, if you want to see a lot of this in real time, it's over on the Dr. Gluon streams channel, linked down below. This is a collaboration between me and Gluon, which is why obviously I don't have all of the footage. But yeah, a lot of the stuff we just saw was all the stuff that I was doing. And again, I'm going to be doing more now. And we will have a quick look at the coaster at this state. So this is now the entrance. And this is why I was saying it's maybe a little hard to adjust the entrances and exits at this point. So we're probably just going to leave it. So yeah, we've fully themed the entrance. Gluon worked on all these vines. Gluon made the cow plant, which is a item from The Sims 4 and 3. And maybe 2, I'm not sure. And yeah, this is our, this is the dark ride section there. It's all themed and we got this sort of temple jungle look going on about it. We got a big sign on the building and it makes it look like it's not so much of a warehouse, but you can still see it, which I think is fun. Now, I have taken the roof off the building because we are theming the inside and we've done a fair amount of it so far. So I'm gonna give you a quick run through. So here at the entrance, you go through, this door opens up as the coaster starts, and we have this like little, almost, it's a small world after all, kind of little area. All the baby cow plants are happy and frolicking. Let me just unpause. They are just dancing up and down. You go through this area, it's great. Then you go through this door, and you have this, okay, well, it is there. There's a cow plant there. And yeah, this is what I mean. when you have a small area in a dark ride, it is dark. But when you have a larger room, it doesn't work as well. All right, where's the coaster? Here we go. Why don't we just jump on it so you can have a look. Here we go. So the door will open and you can see our ratings on the top right there. 6.2, pretty good. So yeah, we go through here, door opens and we're like, ooh, cake, yummy. Ah, there's a cow plant. Let's get out of here. And we go through our launch, which is just kind of like a weird tunnel room. But then this, now, keeping in mind, there's no roof on this at the moment, so it looks like daytime because there will be a roof on the building. Imagine this is all dark. We have a few lights around the place. The roof is off so we can see what we're building, right? Anyway, so this is kind of where we're at now. We're gonna do, I kind of have done the rocks and positioning on that section back there. And we're gonna do more. Basically, we're kind of like inside of a cave, a jungle environment. Lots of vines, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of where we're going for. And the good news is a lot of this is helped when the roof is on. Like we don't need to like do a huge amount to make it look good when the roof is on. So that's what we're going to sort of be playing around with. Anyway, drop down here. Now actually this section onward, we need to do some stuff here. There's no rocks or anything around here. So this needs to all be themed up, but it is looking pretty sweet overall. Now you might also see like rocks and stuff through walls, and like over there on the right, there's some stuff. Oh yeah, I did some exploding doors here. It's pretty sweet to go in and out of the building. I like the idea that if this was real, those doors would be so dangerous. This coaster is going so fast, and if they didn't open in time, because I mean, in the game, those are marble block walls. But I guess if they were real, they'd probably be made out of like foam or something destructible. So if you did hit it, it wouldn't actually do anything. But still, it's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's the coaster. That's where we're at. You can kind of see all those themed elements. So basically I have done up to this point, up to the switch track, right? And I also need to make sure we cannot see these cow plants before we get there, because that's kind of a different element, right? That's later on in the ride. So what we're gonna do, edit this building, and we're gonna start just placing some rocks. Now, again, this will be all dark and inside. So we're actually not gonna see this, like, at all. Like, we will see it, but the coaster kind of flies past it. So I'm not super worried about realistic supports and these looking like they're actually attached to something. Like I said, we're sort of, this park is kind of a mix between, you know, kind of want it to be a little real, but then also I don't want it to be so real that I have to waste time building a support structure for a rock inside of this building that we're never going to see. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope you guys see sort of where we're coming from on that. So basically, here's the coaster. I just don't want you to be able to see these guys as we go past. And I think just a few rocks along here is going to do the trick. And again, it will be dark and there will be a roof on it. And actually, in fact, I'll show you what it looks like with a roof on. Oh, I didn't confirm that. Dang it. I always forget. You gotta hit that little tick button. If you don't hit it, oh, I placed one. Dang it. Or if you do that, yeah, if you don't hit it, then it does not confirm. So I'm just gonna move this a little bit there. Okay, so then that now separates these two guys so you do not see them before you're meant to see them, which is kind of what I wanted. So like, that's why there's rocks here as well, so you can't see ahead. So now when you come up here, like, I guess I should put something here. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll do that in a second. But coming up here now, this whole, we got this rock wall. I know it's a little close here, so we'll move that back. That's why I gotta look in first person. There you go. Then you come around. I guess in theory, you could probably turn your head enough and see it, but you probably wouldn't. You go here, and then we put some other sort of visual blockers there. Now, I'm gonna, so the roof is just over here. That's what's floating over here. We just put it here so it's easy to move on and off. So I'll just show you what it looks like with the roof on. Now, yes, the rocks do stick out a little bit here. They will be adjusted. But for now this is what we're looking like. Again, still got a bit of the weird lighting stuff, but it adjusts a little bit better now because the building is smaller. So you can kind of see, now we do have to add lights. We still need, I know it's indoors and we want it to be dark, but we do need to add some lights. You do actually need to see some stuff. Like this is just very dark. But it's pretty cool, right? Like, I think it makes a huge difference to what this is actually gonna look like. Yeah, look, it's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, let's take, oh my God, my eyes. All right, well, I'm gonna put a few more rocks around this section and then I'll show you our progress. Yeah, it's basically just a process of me like getting these rocks, sort of positioning them and then checking if it intersects any tracks. And not just the one I'm working on, because there are a lot of tracks around the place. So it's kind of like pushing and pulling, hoping it fits properly. And in this case, I'm gonna actually scale this one down a little bit. And I don't know if you can hear some bells jingling in the distance. Don't worry about that. That is me, that is not you. It's windy outside and there's like this little decoration that has bells on it, so. Okay, so basically now those are there. Oh, did I just Okay, never mind, I just canceled that. Like I said, got to make sure you hit the confirm button. If after you do all this stuff, if you don't confirm it, it just deletes it. So it's awesome. Okay, so now, yeah, coming up there, I guess you can see it there, but probably not, right? Oh, dang it. Okay, fine. If I say probably, you probably can. So we'll just advance, move, and duplicate this rock and just sort of put it here. And that should be fine. Okay, that looks good. So now you come up there and you don't see what's on the next section. This comes through here. You can see this track. I don't know if I mind about that too much. What I would also like to do, and I think some fun things, is having a roof to it as well. Because you're like, oh gosh, we gotta, because I feel like when you see a rock in front of you and it's dark and you can't see that the track goes down, I think that's fun. So then it sort of like comes through this section. That's kind of cool. I guess what I'll do here, I'm going to use this rock, come down, maybe like obscure the other track a little bit, because obviously you'll probably still see it. I don't think there's a way I could have it completely obscured, because obviously we need room for the actual coaster to fit in here. I'm wondering how close can I get it? Like, hang on, if this comes through, if someone puts out their arm, would we have a problem? That's pretty close. That is pretty close. Hang on. I guess, again, I guess this is the thing. It's like, how realistic am I going to be here? You know what I mean? We got to figure out where the line is. A little smaller, so it's a little bit thinner. Okay. I feel like we're getting somewhere. So yeah, now imagine it's dark. You're coming through here. You would see this, obviously. You're just going to see it. That's just how it is. You're going to see it. That's okay. You come through here. I might do some more rocks on top of this section just so you don't see the corrugated flooring there. There we go. Now, this is all just purely rocks. We're going to add more stuff, like I guess like plants. And again, this is kind of like a jungly space. So we'll probably have to add more of that. But working through the rocks right now. Okay, I think that's good. I don't know if you get the idea at this point what I'm doing. Basically adding, rocks around certain sight lines so you don't see the entire ride. Make it a little bit more of a surprise. So then at this point, then you go reverse. And the reverse, I think, was pretty good. I might just need to put something here over this thing and maybe around here. But then once we get underneath here, this is pretty good. Like that's already, there's a lot of rocks around here, but I don't think we need to put too much. Like I think that looks pretty cool. Like I don't mind seeing the track there. When you come through, you come up and around, this has already got rocks. What I would like to do is probably make sure we can't see these guys before we're meant to, right? So like down here, when you're in reverse, you could definitely just see them above you. So I think we probably want to extend the flooring of this. Okay, so I've added some more rocks here around this sort of backwards helix, so you can't really see these guys coming. You can, I guess technically, if you're like here and you sort of turn your head enough, but like I feel like it's going quick enough, that's probably okay. Although we could easily add maybe like one of these rocks here that would help a little bit with it. And maybe here, just to sort of block the little entrance section to it. And then that just blocks a little bit more of that sight line on your way in. Like again, you can still see them, but I guess it doesn't matter that you can see them there. They're hanging out. Now I should probably give this guy maybe something to sit on. Yeah, there you go. Now, does that wait? This is the problem with the rocks. Is that getting into this section? Oh, it's close, but I think we're okay. I think I'll move it up like a little bit here. Move it this way, maybe. There you go. That's better. Let's make this a little a little smaller and sort of sit there. Maybe might be better. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So that's kind of what we're working on. Is there a way, can you color just specific sections of the track? Because like in the older games, you could like select just a section of a track, right, and color it. Because it'd be nice to have like some of these track sections black. Because the idea is green. It's kind of like a vine, right? You're on a vine. That's kind of the idea. But I don't know if I want always to be green. Like, should it just be black? But I don't know if you can just color this section. Anyway, I guess I'm going to keep rocking. There's a lot of rocks to do. I think I might need to put at least a section of roof in so I can get the height, because obviously some of those are too tall. So I think I need to put some roof here just so I can see what's going on. I might just get, can I just get like a strip of it? Oh, the reason, again, we don't want to do the whole roof is just because it'll be too dark and I can't see what the heck I'm doing. But if I can get a strip like this, and we can just align it to where the roof is gonna be, so we can see, a lot of these need to be lowered. I'm gonna put maybe a few of these in, I guess, because then I should be able to hopefully, oh wait, did I put them in the right spot? Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Better use these as a guide. This is my theory, to then just lower some of these down. And hopefully they can lower down without, I can say without interfering with the rest of the track. Might make this one smaller maybe. Fits. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I've sort of adjusted a bunch of those top rocks. I'm actually gonna get these ones. I really like these sort of flat square ones. They're super useful. I'm gonna say stick to surface, or align to surface and stick to surface. And then I can just sort of go along the top of this little launch section just so we can kind of cover up some of it. Now, I also know, of course, if I leave it like this, they'll be sticking through the roof because obviously they're sort of overlapping it in that sense. But what I'm going to do is sort of place all these. Now we're going to move them, advance move. I'm going to go to relative because I want to slide this rock based on the angle of the rock. So world is obviously just based on the entire map. This one's just to the rock because I just want to slide it up there a little bit. Then I'm going to select all of these rocks that I've just placed on top of that launch section. And we can have a look underneath and see that it is cutting into the roof. Now, I guess I don't mind it going through the roof because it might look a little bit better having rocks up there. But it doesn't really go with the rest of this launch, which is just kind of like a metal box thing. So I think I might even just do that. Because I guess maybe the idea, well, obviously we're in some sort of, I don't know where we are. We're in some room and then like some experiment chamber or something, and then we're blasting out. I don't know. Something like that. So then maybe that should just stay the metal and then we have the rocks here. So then anyway, the point of doing that is just so from up above here, when you're coming back down this way, you don't just see the metal roof. Obviously, you'll still see some of it there, but that helps a lot, I think. I think I would kind of like maybe some sort of spire, like rock thing. You know what would be cool, actually? Ooh, this rock. Can I get this rock to be like, we rotate it 45 degrees, we're gonna just, by 45 just means we can get it perfectly 90. And then we're gonna move it up so it's sitting in the ground, rotate it. Okay, I've got to try and position this so it's kind of between all these tracks, which I think it is right now, which is good. Do I just scale this piece or do I stack a few pieces? I think I maybe scale it. As long as we're not too close to any track, which I don't think I currently am. Okay, so we got this big rock here. Then that could actually probably join to this, which I think is this. Can probably move anyway. We go world, slide it this way a little bit, slide it this way so it touches that rock. Look at this, we're structurally sound now, folks. And I think there's enough height there. Yeah, okay. So the cool thing is, what I want to do now is I want to grab, so we've got a bunch of these vines everywhere. I think I just need to grab some of them. Is there an easy way I can grab a vine? We used to have some template vines that I could copy and paste, but here we go, vines on the Dr. Gluon workshop. I think I just need to subscribe to these so I can grab them. All right, vines, here we go. Oops. So this is just a set of pieces I can copy and paste. Because what I want to do, grab like this vine here, and then we go all the way over to this building, and I should be able to, wait, am I inside this? What's happening? I want this to be part of this building. Hang on. Oh, here we go, attach. So now I think I'm inside of this building, right? I just kind of want the vine going up and around the rock. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Oh, they're actually still separate. That's okay. You know what? Actually, I'm going to keep them separate for now, and then we can group them in a second. And then I've put a cow plant up the top of the rock. So you sort of, basically coming in reverse, coming down and over, and then you sort of see that there. You spin around underneath and up over there. That's looking better. Okay, so that's all looking good. I added some vines on top of that. Now, the last section, when we come down here and we're seeing this big green building and then just like warehouse over here, this needs to be done up a little bit. And then we're pretty much good with the main rock formation. I kind of like this being open. I do like, you know, part of it just being like a ride. At the end of the day, this is a ride. Like it wouldn't have, I guess, rocks everywhere. I don't know, but I just want to, we need to add some stuff over here though, because we've got this bright green wall here and then just a warehouse wall over there. So I guess I'm going to add some stuff on this wall. So just so you know, you're not really missing much. I'm just moving and positioning rocks for a long time. Just trying to create like some sort of cladding to everything without it going through the walls. We got a little bit sticking through here, so I'll fix that one. Like that. This is kind of the process. Also, yeah, there's a huge rock there. What is this? Let's just probably just move that. Can I? I just rotate it a little bit like that way. Oh, okay. I see. So that is kind of position where it needs to be. Okay. I could probably just scale this and it would fit just as well. So I'm going to scale this down a little bit. So now it should be a little bit more manageable. Move in that way, move it up. This is the process. Just going through every rock, checking it against the track, making sure it fits okay. That looks good. And then from the outside, looks good. And then I've got to, there's more, you know, there's a lot more to do here. But yeah, this area is looking better now. Like, again, it's not going to be fully like, I'm not going to put stuff everywhere because it will be dark. So we can strategically actually light what we want people to see. Like we can light this rock in the middle, maybe a little light in the wall, but we don't need a light like this section or down there because it'll be dark. This I know is glitching, but it's going to be dark. You're not really going to see it, so I think it's fine. And then this rock here, a little close, so I might move that out of the way a little bit there. More there. And then, yeah, we need to do something here, though. This is not great. Kind of want to get some of the plants and stuff going on in here now, like, so we have that element in here as well. Okay, maybe like a little bit of ground cover and then some rocks behind it, I think will probably work. I think maybe just adding like vine or ivy on the side there, because we're going this way, so we're not really looking directly at this wall, so I think I'll probably be okay. And again, it's going to be dark. Like, I know the wall is bright green right now, but it's going to have a roof on it, so I think we'll be okay with that. Layer a rock there, and just a couple rocks to block some sight lines. Not like fully, but just like as you're coming down here, maybe we don't need to see exactly where the exit is, you know. Save that for later. And of course, yes, I'll decorate up on that and block some of that stuff, because these things are like from the wall on the other side. Hang on, let me get out of here. And we got like some marble and stuff sticking through. It's like, oh, from the theming around the front, which I don't want to, like, we don't want to change this. This is all good. So we just need to put some stuff on the inside that'll cover up those elements. But I think this is already looking better. Like, I don't know that I need to do a huge amount more than this. Maybe just, well, this section obviously needs something, but this kind of level of interior decoration I think will work when the ride is like dark, you know? Now we're going through the floor there. We don't want to hit through the floor because that will go into the bit below. Maybe we could even get some of these up here, actually. A little bit of ground cover and some plants. Yeah, you go around that. And I kind of like that you can see all this stuff from this angle, because now we're sort of heading toward the final bit of the ride where we blast out. So I don't mind seeing some more of the stuff at this point. So I'm going to work on covering up some of these things over here now. But I think you kind of get the idea. So I'll keep doing this. It's just kind of a tedious process. Okay, so at this point, I think I've added all the rocks I need to, because I think once the roof is on, let me get out of this so we can actually see, this will start looking pretty sweet. So I've sort of covered up this area through here. And I think if we, get the roof on, we do some lighting, maybe more plants around the place, not too much, but it should be pretty good. And I don't think the coaster track is hitting any rocks anywhere, hopefully, but it should be looking pretty sweet. Like, I think this overall just looks cool. Realistic? No. Cool? Yes. And that's what matters. So that's what we're going with. So I think what I'll do now, well, I guess actually the other thing is we have these sections that come out of the building. I'm not actually sure what I'm doing with this, so I might just leave those for now. We can always add stuff out here later. What I do need to do is clean up still a little bit more of the back. So a couple of these rocks here probably just need to go in. Actually, I don't even know if we need that rock, to be honest. Like, I don't think we can see that. It might be better just to delete it, because we can't see, we're never going to see those. So I think that'll be a bit easier. This one, I think, can probably just slide to the left a little bit, hopefully. There we go. And I want to get rid of this support here. So that's coming off which bit of track? Hard to tell. Probably this one. So if I say that track selected, track support's off. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And any other ones just sort of coming out of the building? No, I think the rest are fine. Okay. So now I'm going to put the roof on. Okay. The roof is on. Yeah. Okay, so now I guess I need to add lights inside, because it's cool that it's all dark, but it will be too dark in certain places. So we do need to get, like, I guess some soft glowing lights at key points. So I think if I use, where am I? Grab this light somewhere. Okay, I cannot see anything. This is why I was building with the roof off. The little flames might be the best, actually. Because what if I just hide it? Oh, no, it has to be visible. Okay, I'm gonna have to, because these are good, kind of spotlighty though. I don't know if that's gonna be the best lighting. Let's see what we can do. If I put this here, obviously when we want it to be more orange in tone. Oh, that was the wrong thing. That was actually color of the light, my bad. So yeah, we can change the color of the light like this. I don't really want it to be visible. Oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing ever. To try and place the light when I can't see what's happening. Okay, I think like here, because what I want to do is like, I want you to be able to see the rock, maybe not necessarily the track. Can I like somehow get this? I guess that's okay. But I can make it dimmer by just turning down this. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm just going to basically follow the track and put lights where we need. Yeah, this is looking cool. I feel like the lights and the darkness make a big difference. But my gosh, it is hard. Where am I? Hello? Oh, here we go. I do wish there was a way to turn off this grid, because it makes it so much harder to see what my light is actually doing. So what I'm trying to do here is I just want to light up the rock that's above the track, like that. Well, you'd be able to see it better if there wasn't that in the way. And then we'll use a light to light up the cow plant down here, maybe from over here somewhere. Yeah, that's good. And I want some probably light on the floor as well. I don't know. I feel like we should be able to see that. Maybe not. Maybe we could just do some lights on the roof up here. I don't know if it looks a little silly being able to see the lights. I mean, I guess I was kind of hiding the other lights a bit more, but I don't think it's terrible. So we can come down here. That's good. I think if I just make these a little dimmer with a darker color. Yeah. Now I could move them up into the ceiling, but then I think they might, okay, that's the wrong movement. Then I think they might stick out above though is the problem. So yeah, like you can kind of hide them in that sense, but I don't know if that really matters to be honest. But yeah, we can definitely hide some lights and rocks around the place. So you still get a glow. That roof, it's so annoying how much light comes through it. We might have to double layer the roof because if you put another set of stuff underneath it, it would block it off a bit more because that is very bright. It kind of does kill the vibe a little bit. Like that looks okay, but when you get close to it, you can see it all appears like that. I'll sort that out later. I guess in this case, we can have like the rock is lit up here and you can't really see the track because it's so dark. So maybe that kind of works. You come through and then you see that lighting, then we're going to go backwards. Yeah, okay. This actually might work. Like now that it's dark, I feel like that looks a lot better through here. It looks a lot better. Yeah, because you can't see it. It looks great, guys. What are you talking about? Actually, if we double layer the roof, these will probably be covered up in a roof tile, which would be good. Okay, so we're going to go backwards. I want to light up the one that's on. Actually, I probably want to light up a lot of that rock in the middle there too. Somehow. Well, that'll light up the cow plant. That's good. All right, so then, okay, this is starting to look really cool. This is looking awesome. This is right before the launch when you go outside and get blinded. Oh my God, my eyes. And you come back around, and I think we're kind of at the point where I don't know if I need to add more lights because it would kind of be fun being this dark near the end. And you can kind of see stuff, but it's all sort of obscured in the distance. So I think it kind of works, and we come out here, blinded again, and back in here, and then this rolls around to the end of the ride, just like that, and then you're sort of here. Okay, I think it's good. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I guess the next step I want to do now is I do want to do a double roof, at least on this top section. So I don't think I can really do much with these curved pieces, because I don't think there's another curved piece that matches that curvature. Because yeah, it's the aquatic corrugated roof 8x2. Oh wait, no it's not. It's this one actually. The, was it 8x4? Yeah, so I could stack it, but I don't think that'll help that much. Actually, what if I offset it a bit too, like by 1 meter? So we had it like, well, by 2 meters. That means it would sort of overlap the front like that a little bit. I'm just curious if this will help. Select a bunch of it and just duplicate it like this. It's expensive, but it might be worth it. If we can sort of try and reduce some of the light bleed coming in. Wait, what happened? I think I overlapped it here. Oh, I did. Back down to 1 meter. What does it look like having like, oh yeah, I think it kind of looks good at sticking over the edge anyway. Underneath maybe look, I might have to add a trim to that, but does this help? Let me have a look. I think it does actually. Yeah. So you can see the, actually let me have a look at the other curved pieces. Oh yeah, you can definitely see light through those. And then these ones, much more blocked. Like we'll still get this weird effect because the building is so big where it like lights up, but it stops like this kind of effect of all that little light coming through. So I'm gonna, I guess, do this. I guess I'll copy this to the other side as well. Dude, this roof alone is probably like $10,000. Okay, so I've put the double roof on the whole thing. However, it's still in the distance. You can see like, so this side bit is double roofed. You still get that weird lighting effect coming through. So on the top, I've actually put solid, oh, I'm missing a couple. Oh, did I misplace that one? Hang on. Oh gosh, moving the camera in here is really annoying. Yeah, I misplaced that one by a couple pieces. Hang on. I can't see them now. Okay, this is why I was building without a roof on before, because what am I looking at here? And if I go far enough away, it'll be in the daylight. There you go. Oh, this whole row is slightly, oh, that's annoying. These are slightly misplaced. Is there like some sort of setting I can like turn off? Oh, actually, hang on, there probably is. If I go settings, we want to turn off, what is it, global illumination, where's that? Off. What if I turn shadows off? Ambient occlusion? Hang on, let's just try that. Oh, okay, that's so much, okay, well, not better. Wow, this is so ugly without without that lighting. But I can actually see what I'm doing, so that's good. Okay. All right, well, actually, that's a good little tip for future builds and adjustments. Global illumination, switch it off and should be good. So I'm just gonna overlap a couple of these here, because whatever. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to do with these edge bits. I might have to put a piece there or something on. I'm just gonna leave it for now. Yeah, this is what the ride looks like, guys. It looks great, doesn't it? No, should we do a final little ride? Well, point of view ride and tour of the ride. So why don't we, first of all, I think it also will help just being nighttime, because then we won't get the light coming through the building. So we're going to do that. Wait, oh, and then you get to see this is what the station looks like at nighttime. We'll do like a first person thing here, don't worry. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to unpause. All right. Okay, okay, hang on. This lamp needs to move. It's a little close to it. In fact, maybe over here. Okay, Patty's Revenge. Oh, we need some lights on that sign. Dang it. Okay, this is Planet Coaster. It's never ending. There's always something to do. Well, I can't not have lights up there if we're looking at this at nighttime. Trying to hide like the lights inside the vines. Now, I believe you can also scale up these fire things. Oh, cool. What if I just like sort of put that there? Does that just look silly, just having a random fire there? I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't know if I love it, but it is a bit of fun. Okay. Kind of wish it was darker. It's weird. The night sky is like really bright. Like, look how bright that is. This is the ground. This is like, how is this? Why is it so bright? Okay, we definitely need more lamps in our park. Let's not worry about that. Right now, we're gonna do first person. We're gonna go on Patty's Revenge, folks. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go in the queue. We could go into the bullpen, or we can do the fast pass. So I'm gonna Patty's Revenge, fast pass. Let's go. Yeah. So we got the big temple theme here. You know, we themed the building. You can barely even tell that it's a warehouse. Isn't it sweet? Gonna go up here. Oh, good. There's a train right here. Look at this. Can I hang on? Let me just pause real quick. All right, we are on. And now we're gonna do the final ride through of Patty's Revenge. This is my first time seeing it actually without, well, with all the lights in and the finished scenery. So hopefully it looks good. All right, here we go. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm just gonna watch. Oh, yeah, that's Patty's Revenge, people. All right, I think that turned out pretty well. Obviously, it's not perfect. There's, I feel like there's definitely still work that could be done, like in terms of, you know, just little details around the place. And actually, if you have any suggestions of what to add on the outside bit over here, like, I don't know, should I just do trees? Should there be... Maybe I should have something here. I'm not quite sure. But I think overall, the rest of it is pretty sweet. Like, I'm super happy with that. And if you didn't notice as well, up over here... Oh, don't worry about these trees. Let me just move that a little bit. Hang on. We actually have a staff room and a bunch of solar panels up here to produce power. So, because we needed more power. So that's sitting up there. So... I think that's it. I think that's Patty's Revenge Coaster build. Again, if you want to see more of the in-between stuff, like all the station stuff, that's over on the Dr. Glue on Streams channel, which I'll link down below. You can check out all of those. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Patty's Revenge. Unfortunately, I can't share this because this building alone, 3,960, but that's actually not everything. There's a few separate buildings in there. All the stuff around the station, the coaster itself, we cannot share it as a single blueprint, which kind of sucks. So actually, if I just try and select the stuff in this area, I'm trying to avoid trees, but just like that, we're at 5,600 pieces, which unfortunately, it does not let you save as a blueprint, even like on my own computer, which kind of sucks. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time and have an awesome day.